Hi guys, I am preparing for Myanmar. I'm going tomorrow. Well, when you when you see this, it's today, but this is yesterday. Even if you see it today, yeah. Or I'm deciding what to pack, and in this week's video, I'm just gonna show you what I pack for a travel photography workshop in Myanmar. So you see here on the table what I wanted to bring, and I don't think I'm going to be able to bring everything. So first, let's talk about what is not on the table. It's my Canon 1DX2, which is recording this video. There's a shotgun mic on top of that, and it's on a tripod. That's a massive tripod. So it's my huge schizo with spikes like this, and it's like it reaches this high, and I don't need that. I need a tripod, but most of my shooting in Myanmar in this situation is handheld. But I need a tripod, for there will be some night shots and also for my videos. So my camera and my shotgun, another camera. This is my Canon 5D Mark IV, which is, I would say I use my 1DX more for videos and this more for shooting, but it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm shooting, for example, in very low light, I tend to want to use my 1DX. So let's just, go from here to here, just first of all, I would really like to take my drone, but I can't. They don't allow drones in Myanmar. And that's not to say I haven't bring my drone to places I'm not allowed to bring it. But you have to pick your battles a little bit, You don't want to get in trouble in Myanmar. Let's just leave it at that. And what you would also need to think about that, I have a local guy in Myanmar. And even if I would make some problems with my drone or just, whatever problem I choose to make, that would not necessarily be bad for me, but it could be bad for my local guy. So think about that, at least when you travel. Don't make problems for other people. That's not the way to go. So no drone. Here I have my filters, my Nisi filters. I will bring them. I have very limited use for them, but there are, for example, when I'm shooting from the temple at sunrise, the iconic picture of the balloons over the temples in Bagan. I need filters for that, and there's always scenarios where I could use filters. So I usually bring them, even if it's kind of like, it takes up a lot of space with this. And I do use my cell phone a lot. I take a lot of pictures with my cell phone, tourist picture, just stuff, I post on the internet and videos also. This video here, which was last year from Myanmar, all shot on cell phone. You can't shoot videos with this monster everywhere, so sometimes it's nice to have a cell phone. So charge it, it takes something to charge it with, and having said that, have chargers for everything. Otherwise, your camera gear is useless, which is not good. And also, don't forget the chargers for the extra stuff. You know, it's easy to remember the chargers for the camera and stuff like that, but you know, for the extras, it's easy to forget. If you hear a baby in the background crying, she's not crying. It's my youngest one. She is playing with her dolls, and the dolls are actually crying. So I'm not neglecting my baby. All right, this stuff here is my gimbal. This is a little big, but obviously I can take it a little bit apart, so it doesn't take as much space. I can put it in this bag, in my suitcase, and I will take that because I will take video, a lot of video there. And I will also take this. This is my gorilla pod, and you know, I tend to hold my camera like this, like most of those YouTubers do. But I don't like the shaky footage which this delivers sometimes. So I do like the gimbal. It's, you know, with my 1DX and this gimbal, it's a little heavy, but I'm strong as I really don't do a lot of this anymore, walking around with my camera. I find it just annoying. Everything is moving, this is moving, the background is moving, sometimes people are turning around. And I like to have more peace and quiet when I'm talking to the camera. But this is perfect for, you know, when I'm shooting like that. Get it? All right. And of course, you know, you need batteries and lens cloths and stuff, you know, that goes kind of without saying, but worth the mention. Also, hard drives. I'm doing a lot. I do two kinds of tours, essentially. Landscape photography tours and travel photography tours. Within landscape photography tours, we do shoot a lot, but it's not a problem. In travel, you know, we hire models, we do a lot, you know, you shoot so much more, at least I do. And I do like, you know, my rule of thumb is like, I try not to delete anything from the card. I back it up and leave it on the card. But I don't have that many cards. And for example, the C-Fast card on my 1DX is very expensive. So I just can't afford to have a lot of cards. So I do bring 2 hard drives. I back it up on 2 hard drives. You know, so keep that in mind. And of course, computer if you want to do some editing, or which I always try to do in those tours. And I mentioned cameras, lenses. You know, I would like to bring those lenses, but this lens is my 16-35. That's an essential. I never leave home without it. And this one is my 24-70, which is probably the lens I'm gonna use like 80% on this tour. On landscape, I do use probably my 16-35 most, but on these kind of tours, I tend to use this one. And it's 2.8, which is sometimes not enough depth of field, so I will bring my my 35 millimeter, because it's 1.4. So prime lens, very sharp, amazing lens. It's a Sigma Art lens. It's as good or even better as the compatible lens from Canon. Hej älskar min. So here's my little assistant. She's sick. That's why she's wearing his pajamas and I'm not at kindergarten. So, okay, I talked about these tools. My macro lens 100, you know, I like to bring it, but I will probably not. This one is my 70 to 40. It's a decent lens, it's not good. So I sometimes use it because when I'm shooting video and I need to work with my 16 to 35, I sometimes use this to make the video. Bráðum kemur hún næska mín. Ég ætla aðeins að klára hérna og svo tala ég við þig, ok? Huggaðu nú dúkurnar. And also this one, eftir smástund. This is my 70 to 200. Well, you know, one of those lenses you just don't leave home without. And this is my 100 to 400. I use this lens more and more. It's a great lens. I will try to bring it if my carry-on is too heavy. This is the first to go. So that's lenses. Flash. I do like to bring flash. I also like to bring so I can use the flash off camera. So I tend to bring that. Release, cable release, yeah, why not? You know, it doesn't weigh. I don't use that a lot actually. You know, I use it if I'm doing very long exposures, but I don't think I will do anything like that in Myanmar. My audio recorder, I will bring that. It's really nice to have audio, background audio lens. Memory cards, I bring that. This is my Osmo. I used to bring it everywhere, but it's kind of like, I stopped using it, you know, because I like to record everything on my big camera and on my phone if I need. But this is really nice stabilized camera. GoPro, yeah. You can always use a GoPro. You know, you take it's you know, it's tiny. It doesn't have to be up for discussion. And this is my travel tripod. This is a tripod I will take, not the big monster. And I will also take my monopod, a dead kitten to put on my recorder if it's windy, which is not. It's not very windy in Myanmar, but it's better to have it than not to have it. And of course this, my lapel mic, I will bring that. I have a personal bag to put the computer and accessories in. And I also have my backpack, which is really nice for landscape tours because it's a proper backpack so I can hike with it. But bring two cameras. There's so many times that I see people with one camera and they have problem with the camera. One camera to a photography workshop. It makes no sense. People, so if you don't have two cameras, rent a camera, borrow a camera, or just buy a cheap camera. You know, it's better to have a cheap camera than have nothing. Thank you for watching me pack, or at least decide what to bring. You know, it's this is basic stuff. This is what I advise my participants to take. You know, if they, you know, lens-wise, I always advise them to take a 16 to 35, 24 to 70, and 70 to 200. Always bring that. You have the range from 16 to 200 mil. And if you want to bring something else for some purpose, bring it, but at least try to bring that. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time in Myanmar.